Have you ever been in a room with someone who barely says a word, yet you feel like they see everything? They're the ones who notice the tiny details everyone else misses. People often mistake them for being shy, aloof, or even disinterested. But what if I told you their silence is actually their superpower? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating psychology of quiet observers, and you might just discover you're one of them. Let's start by busting a huge myth. Quiet doesn't mean empty. In our noisy world that celebrates extroversion, we're taught that the person who talks the most is the most confident and intelligent. But that's simply not true. For many, silence isn't a void. It's a space. A space for thinking, processing, and most importantly, observing. These individuals aren't passive. They're incredibly active, just on the inside. Their minds are constantly worried, analyzing social cues, listening intently to conversations, and piecing together a much bigger picture than anyone else in the room. Think about it this way. When you're constantly talking, you're outputting information. You're not taking as much in, but when you're quiet, you become a sponge for information. Quiet observers excel at this. They're not just hearing the words people say, they're noticing the slight hesitation in someone's voice, the flicker of an eye, the way someone shifts their weight when they're uncomfortable. They are masters of reading nonverbal cues. This is a skill that takes immense focus and mental energy, which is precisely what their silence affords them. From a psychological perspective, this is often linked to introverts, as defined by Carl Jung, draw their energy from their inner world of thoughts and ideas, rather than from external stimulation. So, a bustling social gathering can be draining for them. Instead of jumping into every conversation, they naturally step back. This isn't because they're it's a strategy to conserve energy. And in that quieter space, their observational skills go into overdrive. They become the social scientists of the room, collecting data that talkative people completely overlook. This high level of perception isn't just about reading body language. It's about deep listening. Most people listen with the intent to reply. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. Quiet observers listen with the intent to understand. They absorb the entire message, including the subtext and emotions behind the words. This makes them incredibly empathetic. They can often sense what someone is truly feeling, even when that person is trying to hide it. This is why people often feel deeply seen and understood by their quiet friends. These are the friends you go to when you need someone to just listen, without judgment or interruption. Another fascinating strength of quiet observers is their ability to think critically. Because they're not rushing to give their opinion, they have more time to process information from multiple angles. They connect dots that others don't even see. When they finally do speak, what they say is often incredibly insightful, well thought out, and valuable. It's like they've been watching a chess game, and while everyone else is focused on their next move, the quiet observer is seeing the whole board and thinking 10 moves ahead. Their contributions, though infrequent, often cut straight to the heart of the matter and can change the direction of an entire conversation or project. This trait is also tied to a concept called sensory processing sensitivity, which is common in highly sensitive people, or HSPs. These individuals have a nervous system that processes sensory information more deeply. They notice subtleties in their environment that others miss, whether it's a faint sound, a slight change in lighting, or the emotional atmosphere of a room. For them, being quiet and observant isn't just a preference. It's a biological necessity to avoid becoming overstimulated. By limiting their own output, they can better manage the intense input they're constantly receiving from the world around them. So, how does this play out in real life? In the workplace, a quiet observer might be the one who flags a potential problem in a project that everyone else missed because they were too busy talking. In a friendship group, they're the one who notices when someone is secretly struggling and reaches out to offer support. In creative fields, their keen eye for detail and deep understanding of human nature can lead to incredibly powerful art, writing, or music. They are the hidden anchors, the thoughtful strategists, and the empathetic souls that our society desperately needs. But it's not always easy being a quiet observer. They are constantly misunderstood. People might think they're bored, unhappy, or even arrogant for not participating more. This can be isolating. If you are a quiet observer, it's important to recognize that your way of being is not a flaw. It's a strength. You don't need to become the loudest person in the room to have value. Your value lies in your depth, your perception, and your thoughtful nature. And if you know someone who is a quiet observer, try to appreciate their unique gifts. Don't pressure them to talk more. Instead, create a space where they feel comfortable sharing their thoughts when they're ready. Ask them what they think directly. You'll likely be blown away by the wisdom they have to offer. Sometimes, the most profound insights come from the quietest corners. So, the next time you find yourself labeling someone as just quiet, Pause for a moment. Remember that beneath that calm exterior, there might be a vibrant, incredibly active mind at work, seeing the world with a clarity that most of us can only imagine. They are the watchers, the thinkers, the feelers. Their silence is not emptiness. It's full of observation, insight, and a deep understanding of the world around them. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, maybe you're a quiet observer yourself, or, someone who is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind. See you next time.